The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Buick GMC, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, and the resale division, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Penfield, Fairport, Canandaigua, Ontario, and Palmyra, and online at visionauto.com. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County and begin with our honor roll of high school teams. Number 3 this week, Pittsford Lacrosse. Both the boys and the girls teams are 11-1. That's consistency and excellence. Jake Belias had a 4-goal game against St. Joe's. Jilly Quevedo had 5 against HFL and then added another 3 in a win over Victor. Number 2, Fairport softball's 12-2. Megan Palmer went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles at 4 RBI against defending Section 5 champion Victor. And a number 1, Canandaigua boys lacrosse. The Braves did it. Handed Victor its first loss to an area team in 4 years, or since Canandaigua beat the Blue Devils back in the 2013 sectional final in overtime. Carson Green had 2 goals and 2 assists. Devin Andrews scored 4 goals in an earlier game against Webster Schrader. That brings us to Brighton. The girls lacrosse team there owns more sectional titles than anyone and began the week undefeated in pursuit of yet another. Late last month, the Brighton girls lacrosse team marched into Pittsford and came away with an 8-6 victory over the defending Section 5 Class A champions. To that point, the Barons were 7-0. Junior Caroline Lederman and younger sister Katie combined to score 5 goals.
That was a big one for us. I think it really showed us and proved to ourselves how strong we can be together as a team, and I think it really showed us our potential.
The victory came at a cost, however. Senior attack Ellie Burns went down with an ACL tear.
I'm just kind of like, what are you going to do about it? Like, I can be mad and be a complete bum, but I mean, doing that's not going to untear my ACL, so I just try to have a positive attitude, and I still get to watch these guys play every game, and I still am proud of them for everything they're accomplishing.
Burns joined Mackenzie Harris, the team's only other senior, on crutches. The Syracuse University-bound Harris was injured after only 5 games. Coach Rich Burns refers to them as his broken wings. It's his job to fix the rest of the team.
There's a problem. And we know that, and our situation is address it, fix it, and become a different lacrosse team, because we're not the same lacrosse team right now. Now what we're doing is, it's like the season began again at the RH game, and we know that we're so much more to figure out and to learn, because there's so many things these other kids were not responsible for doing. Now they're responsible.
It was rough, we all had our morning, like our, sadness about it, but you got to keep moving forward, and I think this team does great at that with, change sucks, but they're doing great with it, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Brighton is coming off 2 subpar years, despite a long history of success under Coach Rich Curtis in his 21 years in charge. The Barons haven't won a sectional title since 2013. That appears about to change. Since the Pittsford victory and Burns' injury, Brighton has won 5 more times, and has a good chance of winning all 15 of its regular season games, something even the state finalists of 4 years ago failed to accomplish.
I know one thing, our defense is intact, and they're really good. Our goalie's intact, so for us it's an offensive challenge. We have to bring in 2 new offensive players, and that's what we're going to work on, is our offense. And I really do. These kids are really athletic, they're very smart, they're just young. So sometimes we got to try to get them going a little quicker, get them up to speed.
Junior Katie Smolensky has a team leading 30 goals.
We have 12 good players out on the field. We don't have 1 or 2 or 3. Like, all of our girls are good. We all are very athletic. We can all play any position, really. We're moving around girls, and it's really working for us.
Meanwhile, in Burns and Harris, Coach Curtis has himself 2 new assistant coaches. It's nice you keep the other 2 involved, too, I think.
We do. We put Mackenzie in charge of all draws. She takes care of all of it. I don't touch it at all. And now Ellie will be my assistant on the offensive end, and because she ran our offense, she was the quarterback. So she gives me suggestions on what we should do at times, and we make sure that we keep them busy because they're going to play lacrosse in college, and we just don't want them standing there and feeling like they're not part of the team.
Is there a feeling like, God, we were so good, but now it's been compromised a little bit?
Oh, absolutely not. We have the most balanced team. I think it's just because we don't rely on one player. It's not like I was accounting for like the majority of our points. It's completely distributed, and we have people in the back too. We have people in our back pocket that we can just pull out and play for us, and it's great because we got a lot of youth too. So it's just great to have a new style of play. We're not a completely different team, so that's great.
Coming up next, the Brighton softball coach Sam Rizzo joins us in the Dunkin' Donuts Coaches Corner, and later, steeplechase rookies when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Make it iced, then make it happen. With flavors like butter pecan or the new coconut cream pie, it's America's iced coffee, whenever, wherever. America runs on Dunkin'. Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Time now for our Dunkin' Donuts Coaches Corner. We're joined by Sam Rizzo, Brighton High School girls basketball and softball coach. Well, Coach, it sounds like you got your hands full with those 2 sports going. You took those things on. Is it just because you like to teach female athletes?
Just coaching in general. I actually got into coaching because of my old high school coach, Jack Rosati. Has been around for a while, and we kept in touch through college. And I did not know that during my time in college, he had switched from coaching boys basketball to girls basketball. He volunteered to have me come on board and help him out. This is right after college. And I actually walked into the gym, and the first year was at Aquinas, when he was coaching at Aquinas. I walked into the gym, and there's a bunch of girls on the court. So I walked back out, and I said, well, when do we practice? And he's like, well, what are you talking about? I said, well, there's girls on the court. And he said, no, he switched over to girls. So that's how I kind of got into it. And looking back, it's great. Coaching's just fun. Teaching's fun. Each day brings a different challenge. And it's just nice that you're doing something that you can have some type of influence on someone's life. And that's what I learned from Jack Rosati, and that's primarily why I got into it.
It is different coaching girls, though. Don't you think it's becoming increasingly more important, I think?
It's different. I did spend 1 year in the mix of coaching basketball. I coached boys for a year a long time ago. And it was just different attitudes. We're able to have more fun, I think, with the girls. Like they partake more, or they buy into what we do. The corniness of the coaching aspects, trying to for pregame talks, word of the games, playing motivational songs. That's kind of the fun stuff that coaches I did with us that I brought into the girls. And I found that the year I tried to do it with the boys, it didn't really catch on.
Along the same lines, then, is there something that you used to do with the boys that doesn't work with the girls?
Not necessarily. Obviously, I think I did coach JV boys soccer a long time ago, and that was the one time dealing with boys for years. You can get on them more, and I think that being a male figure and challenging them more, not necessarily just vocally, but just in your demeanor, I think they get that more than girls do. And with girls, you have to be a little bit more careful.
It's all delivery the message.
Correct.
Now, accounting degree from Ithaca. Yep. How'd that work out?
Yeah, it was a 2-year experience. When I was about my junior year, I knew that this profession might not be for me. But since my parents were footing the bill to Ithaca back then, they encouraged me to finish out my degree and give it a try. So I did. I had a couple interesting. The good thing about it is I could relate it into the classroom. So you're bringing real life experience into the accounting classes and business classes that we teach.
Right. He wasn't completely, wasted time.
Right. No, yeah.
The business class, or we got a chance to drop into that quickly. It's very interesting and very different from when we were taking business classes.
A lot of technology. And what you saw was like a virtual sim that the students are using to run their own stores in a marketing class and trying to make money running a convenience store, a sporting goods store, an electronics store, and understanding how the price margins are set, purchasing amounts are set. So it's It's utilizing technology, things that we didn't have when we were in school.
Does it all work for you? I mean, putting together that part, the teaching part and the coaching part, and rounding you out as a person.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, each day, as I said, brings something different to the table. It's nice to see my athletes on the court or on the softball field, but then it's also nice to see them in the classroom. And then you get to know a lot of people doing what we do. And it has its benefits of doing so, and again, it all goes back to whether you're a teacher or a coach, you have an impact on someone, or you have that possibility to have an impact on someone. And I just learned from what my coaches and teachers taught me, and that sort of what guided me into the field.
Well, keep up the good work.
We'll try.
Sam Rizzo, our guest on the Dunkin' Donuts Coaches Corner. Coming up, we salute our Wegmans Make the Grade nominee with Kim, and later on, trying out the water pit for the very first time when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burtson. It's time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field.
Making the grade this week is Dan Messino, a senior at Fairport High School. He's a guy who's definitely earned the honor this week as a leader and role model. Dan was a standout on a successful Fairport basketball team and made multiple trips to the Section 5 finals in his years playing with the varsity squad. This past season, the Red Raiders won sectionals, regionals, and made an appearance in the state championship game thanks to Dan's leadership at point guard. He averaged nearly 20 points a game in his senior season and became Fairport's career scoring leader with 1,332 total points. He capped off his year by earning MVP of the Class AA sectionals and being named to the state all-tournament team. On top of that, he was selected as the DNC's All-Greater Rochester Basketball Player of the Year. There's no time off for Dan as he puts just as much work into his studies. He ranks among the top 10 in his class and already has plans to play basketball and continue his education next year at Hobart College. For his success on the court and in the classroom, this week Dan Messino is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. You can send them into info@classywolf.com. Now here's Bill with the Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar.
Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages at all stages of life. Quality health coverage. That's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org. Here's a look at the week ahead, and would you believe that we have sectional games at the end of this week? Helping to clean out the regular baseball season, we have Webster Thomas playing at Fairport Monday at 4:30. The first sectional games are scheduled as early as Thursday. In softball, Penfield is at Rush Henrietta. That's Monday at 4:30. The softball sectionals start Friday. Playing out the season to boys lacrosse on Tuesday, Webster Thomas is at Pittsford under the lights at Sutherland. That's at 7 o'clock. Fairport is at Victor on Friday, 7, and sectionals begin for the sport of lacrosse next week. On the girls' side, Fairport is at Penfield. That's Monday at 4:30. And a real good one on Wednesday with Spencerport at Brighton. That one is at 7. Track and field, Brockport hosts the Monroe County Championships Saturday, beginning at 10 a.m. That's the Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. Coming up, camping out at the Water Pit, a Sports Beat tradition when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Sign Impressions is more than just signs. It's a total graphics company. Embroidery, screen printing, team apparel, t-shirts, jackets, hats, and of course banners and signs. Visit signimpressions.com. Call us at 723-0420 to order your team or corporate apparel. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Our Honor Roll of High School Athletes is brought to you by the Injury-Free Coalition for Kids. The Injury-Free Coalition for Kids of Rochester and the Smart Teen Driving Program, funded by the Allstate Foundation, encourages teens to pay attention, not get distracted, and to drive safely. Here's our Honor Roll of High School Athletes. At number 3, Brandon Fink. Victor Golf Team turned in the round of the week. Brandon shot a 35 in a match win over HFL at the Lima Country Club. At number 2, we don't talk a lot about Churchville boys lacrosse, but Jake Buck scored 8 goals against Spencerport. At number 1, Andrew Doctor of Eastridge boys lacrosse. Andrew had a 4-goal game with 3 assists against Grease Lightning. That gave Doctor 300 points for his lacrosse career. And now Sticky Lips Barbecue presents our Athlete of the Week. Is your school looking to raise money? Sticky Lips Barbecue has you covered. Check out our community barbecue fundraisers. Sticky Lips quality is an easy sell. Visit StickyLipsBBQ.com for more details. We have two for you this week. Neither is necessarily a headline, but fate brought them together in the steeplechase in Penfield. A small crowd converges inside the fence on the north end of the track in Penfield. It's time for the steeplechase. It's a 3,000-meter race for the boys, a grueling distance even further complicated by barriers and a water pit. There were two heats in the His and Hers Invitational, the first for the neophytes. Many first-timers to the event.
I looked at it, and it just looked interesting. It looked like a giant obstacle course, something I just wanted to try and see if I was good at it.
I think every kid watches the steeple and kind of decides, that'd be pretty fun. So for, 4 years now, my entire high school career, I've kind of wanted to try the steeple, but I've been doing other events, mile and 2 mile, kind of focusing on those, so I never got around to actually trying it.
Here we go, gentlemen. On your mark. This was Oliver Rapp's first steeplechase, but the Brighton senior is an accomplished veteran distance runner, and as a result, a risk to put an event as potentially hazardous as this.
It's been 4 years of me not really wanting to get the top distance guys in this, just because I was a little nervous. So I wanted to wait, but he really wanted to try it, and so senior year I figured he deserved a shot.
After what amounts to a warm-up lap, it is time to hit the pit.
We don't have a steeple at my school, so I've never even stepped on a barrier before. So when I went over the first time, I was surprised by how high it was and also how cold the water was. So I think my sister took a video of it, and there's got to be a very surprised look on my face.
Yeah. Oh, you were laughing too, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. I was surprised. I don't know. When I went in 2 feet one time and the water splashed up all over me, and I think I laughed pretty hard after that one.
Rapp was leading the heat. Bryce Gunderman was in the middle of the pack. The anticipation coming into that your very first, water hole. What was that like?
A little scary at first, but as soon as I got over it, I was like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought.
But the barrier is slippery, isn't it?
It's really slippery. Yeah, I slipped off and hit my shin, I think once, just because so much water on it and I was towards the back.
Why does this event still exist?
I don't know. I think possibly as a litmus test of the guts that some of these athletes have. I mean, it's. I don't know. I don't know if I have a great answer for you on that, but I think that I think that it gives the athletes the distance kids who kind of go through the same types of workouts, the same types of races, consistently for 4 years, a chance to get out of their element maybe a little bit and and have a little fun out there.
Seated third in the first heat of 13 runners, presumably the slow heat, because they have very little to go in the seeding process, Rapp, nevertheless, led wire to wire.
Every time he's going over a barrier or the water barrier for the first time, I'm just praying that he's not going to get injured, and then we'll see I was going to see what the time was afterwards, and see if we could move on from here, and stop my heart palpitations, or decide if he had some talent in it that we were going to keep going for it. So I think he probably has earned another couple shots at this point.
In fact, Rapp's time beat 9 of the 13 runners in the fast heat for a 4th place finish overall. It virtually assured Oliver's entry in future steeplechases.
I'm 11 seconds off our school record with that time, and that's my first time ever doing it. So I don't know, maybe I'll consider doing it again. I mean, if I'm that close, it might be worth it.
Gunderman, one of just 4 ninth graders to give the steeple a go, finished 3rd among them, 22nd out of 26 overall, and looking forward to doing it again.
I think it's good for first time, but I feel I can do a lot better if I work at it.
Are you going to work at it? I mean, do you want to do this again?
I want to do it again, just see how I like it once I actually train and get better at it.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the 11 dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible. As do you. Thanks once again for watching. We'll see you next week with the Vision High School Sports Beat.